Hey friends! So for today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a tag. This is the beauty consumer tag started by 90s Lovechild, and I've seen a handful of my friends do this tag already, and I was like, this sounds like the perfect tag for me to do. Perfect for me to do. So we have a series of questions that she came up with for us to answer. You guys should go check out 90s Lovechild's channel. She rocks wigs flawlessly. She's really fun. She's got a really nice energy, really good personality, and she has a cool style. I like her. She's cool. So these are a series of questions, all kind of pertaining to one's own habits as a beauty consumer, and I figure it's a really good time to talk about it, and I'm really glad that she made this tag. These are some really cool questions. I feel like she thought a lot about it, and we're gonna get real personal in here. Okay, cool. Question number 1, how much do you spend on makeup a month and a year? Well, a month, I would say lately anywhere from like 0 to 150. I guess. Like, if we're including skincare, it'd be like 0 to 200 because I buy skincare a lot because I use up a lot of skincare. But there have been some months where I don't actually buy anything new depending on what's going on. If I run out of things all at the same time, I end up having to spend more. Like if I run out of my concealer and my foundation and powder and stuff, that kind of can rack up. But in a year, well, we'll put it this way. I've been a VIB consistently, a Sephora VIB, which I'm not exactly sure how much that means. I haven't been a VIB Rouge in several years, so that's a good thing. Looking at how much money you have to spend to be a Rouge, and I'm like, oh god. But I do spend a fair share on indie brands at Ulta. That's where I usually get my foundation and my, actually more likely I've been shopping at Ulta lately, but I would say anywhere from 0 to 200 a month. Generally, it fluctuates. And then in a year, I don't know, anyway, I would probably say the most I've spent on makeup, I would hope it's not more than 1,000. I would hope it's not, well, no, I would hope it's not more than a couple thousand. I really would have to dig into that. It fluctuates. Like I said, it's different. I'll say this, I don't buy different foundations. I have one foundation and then I buy it when I run out of it. So I don't own a lot of foundations. Same thing with all complexion products. I pretty much use the same thing every day. I don't buy a bunch of new ones of those, but I've been getting more into like eyeshadow palettes, highlighter type things, which can be expensive or not so expensive. So honestly, I have no fucking clue how much I spend in a year. Number 2, do you ever feel guilty about how much you spend on makeup? I don't think I do. I think in the last year or so, especially that I've been making more money with my YouTube channel, it's helped to kind of like justify a little bit more where I'm like, I'm spending money that's going back into the channel in some capacity. It's the same way I feel about like buying camera gear, is that it's going into something that I can earn money from. So I don't feel like I feel guilty about how much I spend, because in the last year especially I haven't gone too crazy, and especially when I have bought like more products or spent more on products, it's going to more of a like an indie brand. So I look at that as a way of like kind of helping support smaller brands. I don't feel guilty, really. I don't think I do. Number 3, do you get FOMO related to makeup releases? I don't think I do. I think I get sometimes a fear of like, if there's something that I really want, maybe not necessarily a fear of missing out, because I feel like with FOMO, you're kind of attributing a part of that to like fear of missing out because everybody else is in on it. But I feel like the only times I've had that like fear of like not getting a product when it releases is with the Melt Gemini palette and the Smoke Sessions palette. But other than that, like looking at my collection, like I feel like I used to have more of that mentality, but since I started to kind of purge myself of certain brands, since I was like moving to being cruelty free, I feel like that's eliminated a lot of that, because like in my head, I'm like, well, that product looks really cool, but I'm not gonna buy it because the brand isn't cruelty free. So I feel like that's kind of tampered it down a little bit. and I feel like, especially since doing anti-hauls more regularly and like watching more anti-consumerist content, it's kind of helped to curb that, definitely. So I used to be a lot more like FOMO, but now I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Like, it's just makeup. Question number 4, do you purchase or keep things simply because they are limited edition? I feel like now, especially with limited editions, so much of that stuff is like just used as a marketing tactic where they say there's going to be limited edition, but then it ends up being like a permanent product. So I don't do that with limited edition. I more so keep products that have been discontinued. So like I still have my Urban Decay electric palette that I bought years ago, even though I rarely use it, but I'm looking at decluttering it because honestly, I don't use it and the quality is not going to be as good. I definitely don't buy things because they're limited edition much. I can't think of once in the last year specifically that I have. If I did, then I'll just come in as editor me. I definitely keep things that have been discontinued for sure. Like I still have some NARS blushes that have been discontinued that I should throw away, but yeah, not as much limited edition, except for Lush products. The only thing, and I know that it's a problem and I know that I need to kind of curb myself from this because I have too much stuff. The only thing that I still buy that are limited edition that I like to collect are Lush products and things that are here for like just a little amount of time. Those are the only things that I still buy that are more like holiday releases or like limited releases. But as far as makeup goes, I don't really buy things that are limited edition because usually I don't like the idea of like using up a product and then not being able to get it again if I particularly like it. So I'm like, I'm not going to buy it to begin with because then if I fall in love with it, it doesn't fall into that same mentality of like, it's better to have loved than lost than never loved at all. It's like, no, with makeup, it's better to have never loved at all. Question number 5, would you be willing to pay more money for a sold out product online?
No.
It's just makeup. Like for me, it's just makeup. Like I don't think I've ever spent money on like a secondhand product that's been resold, especially now that we're finding out so much about like counterfeit stuff. I'm way more like not into that idea at all because you can't prove that something is like legit. And I don't know, I feel like because I'm so like ingrained in like concerts now and seeing how fucked up it is that people will buy concert tickets and then resell them on StubHub, finding out that Ticketmaster works with StubHub, I have a bad taste in my mouth about buying things from somebody who bought it just to raise the price. Never done that, never see myself doing it. If I don't get it on the initial release, I don't really care. I hate StubHub. Question number 6, do you wish you could spend more or less? On makeup, I don't feel like I wish I could spend more. I wish I had more money. I wish I had more money on a regular basis. Maybe not necessarily to spend more on things. Because like right now, the way that my space is, there's really not space for like a huge collection of things. I wish I had more money just to make my life easier. And then also just more space to be able to just like have things. I don't think of myself as a minimalist because I own a lot of stuff and I like having things in my house. That's always how I've been. So I would like to have more space and more money to be able to fill it with more pieces of art and things that I love that make me happy. I'm definitely not a Marie Kondo type of person, especially now that she's selling overpriced things on her own website. And I was like, bitch, you were telling people to throw stuff out just so they could buy some of your own crap. Are you kidding me? Question number 7, do you feel compelled to buy something when you see it in someone else's collection? I guess, yes, you could say that. Like, I feel maybe not necessarily more compelled, but if I see something in someone else's collection, like if I see somebody else that I watch on YouTube that I like their content, and if they like something and we have similar tastes, I'll be more inclined to be like, oh, well, I trust this person. You know, I trust what they say. If they're going to like it, I'll probably like it. But I have found out that some people that I really enjoy, and I feel like I agree a lot with makeup, some products that they really love, I absolutely hate. Case in point, the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. Raw Beauty Christie, one of my favorite creators, she absolutely loves it and I can't stand it. So I feel like if it's something that's pretty, like a eyeshadow palette or a highlighter, and I see somebody who I really like and who I tend to agree with makeup and they really like it, I'm definitely more inclined to go like look at it, swatch it, buy it if it's online, because it's just that extra level of like, I got a second opinion on it versus just like the advertising for a product. So yes, I definitely would be more inclined buy something that I was maybe thinking about that somebody else I like also likes. Question number 8, do you buy more during the holidays? For myself, I would say I buy like on par the same amount just because My whole life, my mother has always been kind of, not like, she wouldn't shame me, but she would be like,
don't buy anything for yourself before Christmas because you're gonna get presents, like, stop it.
In my mind and in my head, I've always been not like super buy for myself around the holidays. If there's something on Black Friday that I know I absolutely want and it's on sale, then I'll buy it and then not wait for someone else to buy it, because my boyfriend buys makeup for me, but my parents and my sister don't buy makeup for me. So if there's something on Black Friday that I know that I want, I will buy it for myself and specifically not tell my boyfriend that I want it if I'm gonna buy it for myself. But like this year, I bought myself a camera on Black Friday because it was on sale. I did not want my parents to buy it for me, and I wanted to use it for Vlogmas. So I wanted it for the holidays to use. So I would say, I mean, I'm spending more during the holidays because I'm buying gifts for people. But for myself, I would say it's around the same. I don't think I spend more on myself during the holidays. Number 9, have you ever hidden a makeup purchase from family or friends? I don't think, no, honestly, my friends don't wear a lot of makeup and my family doesn't. My mom and my sister don't wear a lot of makeup, so it's really never been like a big deal. Like my mom doesn't know about makeup, she doesn't pay attention to makeup, so she doesn't know anything about the products that I'm using. My sister also doesn't really give a shit, and my friends, I think the only time I've like strategically hid something from friends, it wasn't even a friend, it was a roommate that was I was in a very toxic situation with a roommate, and I hid things from her because I was afraid she was gonna steal things from me, but not to the point where I was like ashamed of owning it. So yeah, no, I've never hidden anything from family members or friends. My friends wouldn't give a shit. They wouldn't care. Seriously, most of my friends wear very, very minimal makeup. Number 10, do you have more than 10 products in your collection that you have not used in over a month? Unfortunately, yes, definitely. Brushes, there's a ton of those I haven't used in over a month. Eyeshadow palettes, I haven't used a lot of those in over a month. Lip products, definitely, I haven't used in over a month. The things where I have a lot of them. Highlights, I'm trying to think if I have any highlighters that I haven't used in more than a month. Maybe, probably. I need to start rotating stuff around and like using up more products, but yeah, unfortunately, I own a lot of stuff that hasn't been used. And there's some things that I just like tend to use more in the springtime versus in the wintertime. But yes, unfortunately, I have products that I haven't used in that long. I'm sorry. I'm just like looking at my vanity behind me. I'm sorry. If you want to see my vanity tour, here's a link to it in a card. Question number 11. Have you ever been pressured to purchase something you could not afford or did not need? No, I feel like the only time that would come into play is if like the internet was telling me to do something. I've had people be like, oh, can you review this for us? And I'm like, no, like I'm not gonna do that. But that's the closest thing to being like pressured into buying anything. But like I said, none of my friends or my family give a shit, so they wouldn't care enough to pressure me into buying anything. On my anti-hauls, I've had a lot of people be like, oh no, you should give this a chance, you should give this a shot. And I don't care. Like, I'm gonna buy what I want to buy, and if somebody tells me I need to buy something, so what? Yeah. Is that rude? I don't know. Question number 12. Do you purchase makeup for collector reasons? I used to. I definitely used to buy more things to have. I bought a lot more lipsticks and blushes back in the day. I owned a lot of MAC lipsticks, like a lot of MAC lipsticks back in the day, back when like MAC lipsticks were the lipstick. That was like what you graded good lipstick on. So I owned a lot of MAC stuff. Going back to my thing about like buying limited edition Lush products, that's the only thing that I can think of that I buy to collect, and I'm trying to get away from that, and I'm trying to kind of wean myself off of collecting certain things. Thankfully that I don't have a bathtub, I don't buy bath products anymore, but recently Lush things are the only thing I can safely say that I've bought for collector reasons, and like perfumes and stuff, but makeup wise, not lately at all. I almost fell into like buying all the Anastasia palettes, and I almost fell into buying a bunch of Melt stuff, but I stopped myself. Some releases were like underwhelming, and I was like, cool, I don't need that. Thanks. Thanks for stopping that. And then question number 13, the last question. In your makeup journey, have you become less or more consumeristic? You all know, you anti-consumerist fairy godmother, okay? Back when I first started buying makeup and I started getting into makeup, I was definitely more of the mindset of like, oh, I need to get all these things. I bought all these like Revlon lipsticks back in the day. Like I said, MAC lipsticks, MAC blushes, Tarte blushes. I had some Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes, but that was back when like there weren't that many brands. So technically I'm buying more makeup now, but it's because there's so much more makeup out there. It's yes and no. It's both, where back in the day I would buy things just to buy them more often. Now I think more about it. I have more money for myself on a regular basis, so that helps. It was like a double-edged sword where now I know more of what I like, and there is so much more makeup out there, and I am able to make some of that money back on my YouTube channel. So it's yes and no. And I think transitioning to being cruelty-free has helped a lot of that, because some of the brands that come out with the most stuff are brands that I'm not going to buy from for one reason or another. And it's helped me kind of just like put a roadblock at like, oh, this product that looks really pretty, not going to buy it. Or stuff like Kat Von D. She would come out with stuff that looked pretty, and I'm like, I'm absolutely not going to buy anything from her for a multitude of reasons. So this is a roundabout question. Did I answer it? I'm more anti-consumerist, but I still buy stuff. Yeah, so I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Okay, so that was the tag. I encourage you to do this. This was really great questions. It was super thoughtful tag. Thank you for doing this. You guys should go check out her channel. I'll leave the video and a card. You should check her out. Today's song of the day. Oh boy. So Harry Styles fucked us all up again with the entire release of his record Fine Line. So today's song of the day is Fine Line. It is the closing track from that album, and oh my god, it's beautiful. It's like Harry Styles has been listening to Bon Iver a fuck ton, and I'm not mad about it because it's beautiful and gorgeous. So, oh my god. So yes, your song of the day is Fine Line from Harry Styles. Check it out. Highly, highly recommend it. Oh boy. Thanks to my patrons. Y'all are great. Love ya as per usual. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't seen me before, I would love to have you join. Thank you so much, everybody, for 40,000 subscribers. I just reached 40,000 subscribers today as of filming this. Holy shit. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it there before the end of the year, but thank you so much to everybody that has hit the subscribe button in the last little bit. Thanks to everybody who I've collabed with so far, and I have a couple more collabs coming up this month. Thank you to everybody who is here supporting me on a regular basis. I appreciate you so much. Give this video a like if you liked it. If you want to do the tag, questions will be in the description below, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.